Good morning guys, welcome to Lost Phoenix Gaming, the home of tips, tricks, guides and tunes for Forza Horizon, and I'm having a look at the autumn Forzathon challenges today, and this is the weekly challenge set. And what I want to do before I get into this is give a big thank you to all of the people who have subscribed to my channel in general. Thank you very much, I appreciate all of you, and I want to give a thank you to everybody who subscribed recently. I've got a banner going across the top of the screen in a moment showing recent subscribers, but this is not an exhaustive list. There are a lot more people than this who have subscribed recently, and I do say thank you to you people for doing that. I really do appreciate it. And the only ones I can see to put across the screen in these shoutouts are ones who have subscribed publicly, because in Google there's two sort of options on your privacy. You can notify channels when you subscribe to them, and that's called public information, and you've got private, which does not notify channels. I don't know the names of people who have got their privacy settings to that, which is all well and good, but those of you that I do know of, I will give you a shout out across the top of the screen. So what we've got, but I do know of, is Roscoe P. Cold, Vieria, I think it's pronounced, John Smith, Macius or Macius, Grabuinski, apologies for totally mispronouncing that, Ricky, David Kerr, Daniel Dryson, Scott Stone, Ethan Murtoff, Eric Macaluso, Carnage Gaming Streak, I Am Lucid, here's a good one, Nuts in Your Mouth Son, okay, fair enough, Sword Space 2000, Dr. Dimp, Space Lim, Will, and Mist Gunner. Fantastic. Thank you very much for subscribing. I know there's a lot more people who are not on this list because you have got your settings to private, and that's fine. I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm just saying these are the people I know about and can give you a shout out by name. Those of you who have subscribed to me, if you want me to give you a shout out, just drop me a comment on this video or any of my videos saying I've subbed, and I'll give you a shout out when I do my next weekly Forzathon video or when I do my first look video. Because if you want me to give you a shout out, just ask, if you sub to me and say, look, I've subbed, give me a shout out, so I'll add you to the list. So with that, I'll move on and start having a look at the weekly Forzathon challenges. It's called The Journey, Not the Destination. And first up, we've got Own and Drive Any GT Car. After this, you need to win 2 street scene events, and then you need to earn 1 million skill score in your GT car. And finally, you need to drive your GT car for 16 miles. Okay, cool. That is that one, so that's not too bad. So I've decided to go for the Alfa Romeo 8C Competizione and Alfa Champ Tune A-Class. This is very respectable. I've got the share code up on the screen now, so go grab that, get it on this car, and we can start having a blast around the weekly Forzathon challenges. And pulling away, the camera's locked a little bit, but enjoyment and excitement completed. That's the own drive part out of the way. And next up, we're having a look at the street scene events. We've got to win 2 street scenes. So what I'll do before I get into that is just go in and change a couple of settings. Keeping it on New Racer because, hey, let's have an easy life. Traction control on, stability off, audio for purposes of YouTube needs to be on streamer mode. Puts it onto Hospital Records, Hospital Music, which are one of the biggest copyright trolls around. They really are. And I'll go into that in a bit more detail another time. But having a look at the street scenes, and I don't like street scenes whatsoever. They're a pain in the backside. But I reckon Coastal Charge is one of the best ones in the game for this, because it's pretty straightforward. There's no sort of complicated routes, and I just find it easy. And being an A-class car, you don't tend to have too many issues with stupid overpowered driver tars. S1, S2 would just be too silly. A-class is sort of reining it in a little bit, bringing it back into the world of sensible, without sacrificing time in order to have an easy event which just takes longer to complete. So coastal charge, street racing, I'm not bothering changing settings, I'm happy enough with what I set up before. And onto the line, go, go, go. And into third place already, that's not too bad. Got second, got first here, so I grabbed second place, slowing it down for the corner a little bit. And let's pass you, shall we? That was easy. That wasn't too bad, that was pretty straightforward. And this is what you get on New Racer. It's pretty much no real sort of competition, which when it comes to street racing, and you're not chasing credits or championship rewards or anything that require you to have a certain difficulty level, you can just say, just slap it on the easy setting and just go around, give it a blast and get it completed. And it does give me an opportunity to get some wreckage skills in, because today's daily Forzathon challenge involves getting wreckage skills. I'm not sure if it's great wreckage or awesome skills offhand, but it is wreckage. So I'm thinking, let's see if I can combine the two and actually get the Forzathon daily done whilst completing part of the Forzathon weekly. And hit the brakes, go around there. Even if I didn't do it on this one, which I probably will, if I didn't do it on this one, I've still got the 1 million skill score part in order to build up my wreckage skills and build up my score that way, so it's easy enough. But I'm going to have a go on here. Hard brake, let's miss that car. Good, good. And 77%, 78, go around there. Pretty much uncontested at this point. This is pretty simple. I might have a little bash through the fields in a minute. Yeah, a little bit wide, partly on purpose, partly not. And that's got me some more wreckage skills, a few more there, and the dog's dinner completed. That's the daily one. That's 24 Forzathon points for the pleasure. And just to run now up to the finish line, absolutely no challenge whatsoever. So that's 1 out of your 2 street races out of the way. Okay, cool. Let's just skip through this stuff and we'll have a look where we're off to next. Back into the map, and I could just go in and just redo this one. Redo Coastal Charge, no problem. I can go pick another one. Don't fancy them. I'm not touching the Edinburgh stuff. North Coast Rush isn't bad, but I reckon Lakehurst Rush, that looks pretty straightforward. That's not a bad route if you look on the map. So I'm going to give that a run. This will be my second event for the street scene. You can do whatever ones you want. These are just the ones I'm choosing because these are ones I find the easiest. So we're over here at the Lakehurst Rush event. Just in case you're going into it, solo mode, pick the Alfa once again and just get loaded in. Lakehurst Rush. Start event. Keeping it all on the same difficulty settings because there's no need to change off them. And third place, let's pull second place off Potato Gamer. You got B More up here. In first, bye-bye, past you, into first, jobs are good. And not bad for 7% of the way through the event. Nice and foggy and misty, very atmospheric. But it is autumn and it is England. Taking out some wall, sort of misjudged that a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because even though they're sort of keeping up with me, I'll soon be able to get a bit of distance and just have a nice, decent run towards the finish line. And you only have to do 2 for this. And you can't do custom blueprints for street racing. You can only do them for dirt racing, road racing, and cross-country racing. You cannot do them for street scene, which I wish you could. Because life's a lot easier when you're knocking out these challenges. Just to go in, do a custom blueprint, nice easy win, sort of 10-second race, and you can just move quickly through the stuff. But with street scene, you have to go in and do it. And yeah, I wish you could just do it, but you can't. So I've had a look and I've picked the two which I think are the more reasonable, the easier to complete, although you've probably got your own opinions on which street scene events you prefer. So whatever you prefer, run them, go and do them, complete them, it'll all count. There's no requirements on particular ones, only that it is a street scene event. And 70%, coming around here, through the smoke, being a bit careful on this one, and being careful there again, taking out some walling, a little bit of a wobble, take out a little bit more wall, and we're all in Goliath territory here. And for the 16-mile event, I might actually just run Goliath, because even though I could go in and just go, let's just go for free roam, let's go and drive around a little bit, I get a bit distracted, so it's probably easier and looks better on video if I just go and do a race, you know, although you guys can go and just drive around, have a laugh and just mess about a bit for 16 miles in your GT car and it will all count. But that's street racing done. That's the second of the two, and when we do get into the map, that should give me a pop-up telling me that I've completed that part of the challenge. So a few credits, a few influence points, not much on my levelling up, and back into the map. Let's have a look, shall we? Performance and luxury completed. The next part is get 1 million skill score. Okay, I'm going to do a fast travel back over to this influence board outside my house, and when we're there, it'll be right next to the hills and by the wind farm, so it's easy enough to build up a skill score there. What I will do is go in and have a look at my car masteries, because the more of these you have on, all these different skills, makes your skill score build faster, which makes it easier and quicker to complete stuff. And the only one I haven't got is on XP boost for the next 10 races, so I might as well put that on. I've got some points available, and that will give me a little boost when it comes to doing the Goliath bit later. But what I also want to do, to try and see if I can speed it up, is go into audio. I'm going to knock off streamer mode, it's back to normal radio. Have a little drive around, because what you can do is go across the fields, do some damage skills, do some jumps, drift, stuff like this, try and avoid the hay bales. But have a flick through the radio stations, because this car will go up to 5 times multiplier when it comes to skills, which means you need to get 200,000, although you don't need to do it all in one go. If you can get a skill score using a skill song, you don't have to get as many, because the skill songs put your multiplier up to 10 times, which means it halves the time, halves the points you need, and it also builds faster. So you only have to build 100,000 at 10 times to get your 1 million. I'm trying to find a skill song. You know, I'm not being too successful on this, admittedly, and I'm flicking through all stations and everything, and I'm just going to keep flicking through, and if a song comes up, the multiplier will bounce up to 10, and this will take a lot less time than it would do normally. I didn't manage to find a skill song. I've been flicking through. Rapper's Delight, good tune, love that. Killers, awesome tune. I got some good music on here, and I've got 201,000 and counting at 5 times, so I can do it. You don't have to do this in one go, so you can do it in bits. But that's that one completed. Just switch your radio off, because the last thing I want is any copyrighted music seeping into these videos, because the last thing I want is copyright strikes. Even though most of the stations aren't too bad, hospital radio is particularly bad when it comes to stuff, despite being on streamer mode. That's a big complaint I've got. Anyway, I've completed that part. That's the skill score done. I've leveled up a little bit, and all that's left is to drive for 16 miles. Okay, cool. I'm going to knock the audio back off just so I've got better control over it and stick radio off. The traction can go on and stability can stay off, because at this point you can just drive around for like 16 miles up and down the motorway, around the country roads, do what you want to do. But because I get a little bit distracted and we'll probably end up crashing into things, I thought I'm going to run the Goliath because I quite enjoy this event. This is one of my favourite events. You can get a decent bit of XP out of it, so I fancy running this round in this Alfa, because I normally do it in the Quadrifoglio. Yeah, I want to sort of see how this goes, but you guys can just free roam, do whatever you want to do different events, just do what you want. I'm just doing it in this for purposes of a video really, and just a bit of fun. So I'll load into this one, and you just basically drive for 16 miles. It's not something which really requires a lot of sort of tuition or anything, just get in your car and drive. This is the last bit, which is pretty respectable. And when it comes to subscribers and comes to stuff like this, if you do want a shout out, give me a shout. I'll put it in one of my future videos. And I've done a quick cut there, and it should come up in a moment, about 7 minutes in, where I've completed the 16 miles, which definitely makes life pretty easy, and it gets the 200 Forzathon points for doing so. So come around here, hit my brakes, just having a little play around really, messing about. And is it going to come up anytime now? Come on, there you go. The journey, not the destination. Completed. So that's that. I could quit out of this, but I'm going to carry on to the end, and I'm going to do a cut back to the main screen. But that's that, guys. That's the weekly Forzathon, which is pretty respectable. So if you like what I'm doing, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and until next time, thank you for watching. Take it easy and happy driving.